that all communities, including the Muslim community, have a seat at the table and their voices are being heard.
And we appreciate you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
doing a wonderful job. And I wanted to honor you, but it was just such a short notice. But you are doing your work and you have never taken your hijab off. You're doing your job and you don't alter it at all. And I appreciate you. And I think you should be honored for that because of the stares that you get, the looks, the whatever people was talking about, because you sit in that seat and you are doing the work and you're covered. And I'm very proud to look up to you as a Muslim woman in hijab, working to better the communities, make a difference for all of us. No matter what your faith is, you're there for all of us. And I just appreciate you. And you are a beautiful representation to the Muslim community and to the community abroad. And
Thank you so much for your kind words. It means a lot. Thank you.
yes, you do. You do. We love you.
Thank you, Ms. Mozawala. It was a pleasure having you, and I think definitely we need more representation, and for you to break that glass ceiling is definitely motivational and inspirational for the rest of us. And thank you for representing. So I'd like to move forward now with another guest that we have. His name is, sorry, his name is Jermaine Williams. And he's a public advocate and is an American politician who has served in the New York City as a New York City public advocate since 2019. He formerly served as a member of the New York City Council from the 45th District, which includes East Flatbush, Flatlands, Marine Park, and Midwood in Brooklyn. So welcome, Mr. Williams.
Thank you so much. Wassalamu alaikum. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much to all the organizers who brought us together today. Happy World Hijab Day to everyone. Today we're here because we are standing with Muslim women across the city, across the state, across the nation, and the entire world to make sure that we're letting it be known. Don't let our pride be your prejudice, whatever that is. And World Hijab Day is one of solidarity. And so we stand for Muslims' right to cover, for their personal choice of individual expression. I'm asking others around the city to join in solidarity for World Hijab Day every day and standing against Islamophobic people and policies. This is the first time I heard the word hijabophobia, so stand against hijabophobia. That means that our support cannot begin and end today. We need to carry it forward in government action, in our neighborhoods, in our personal lives, in our meetings, each one teach one. This is the most crucial in these times where the hijab is being banned in so many countries, while Muslim women are being targeted and harassed verbally and physically in our city, in our country. And so you can have sometimes de facto bans, which is the one that sounds like the Ms. Farrell spoke about. It wasn't outright banned, but there was so much harassment that occurred, she felt she couldn't even wear that. So our country is complicit in this. Hate crimes have been rising for years as festering ignorance has given way to even more acts of Islamic violence. I remember very clearly what happened to our Muslim communities after 9/11, based solely in Islamophobia and the over-policing that occurred during that time. Even now occurs, Islamophobia occurs. Until just a few days ago, the Muslim ban was in effect. And over the last 4 years, many Americans, even those of us who rushed to the airports in the first days of the Trump administration, may have even grown numb to it. But we cannot grow numb to it. We cannot ignore or excuse ignorance and discrimination. It's easy to turn a blind eye. It's easy, if it's not you, to not do what you have to do. It's harder to face down hatred and bigotry, and that is our mandate to do that. And it is most powerful when, like today, we are not only standing up, but standing together. And as I always say, hate is not even, it's a very unintelligent feeling, and you can't hate neatly. And sometimes, even with things like Islamophobia, you have people discriminated against who are not even Muslim. That's how unintelligent this hate is. And I think I see some of our Sikh brothers and sisters here as well, who have felt the impact the silliness of this kind of hatred. And so it's not only a woman's issue, it's a religious rights issue, it's a human rights issue. It's one of basic respect. And as a public advocate, I wanted to make sure I was here to stand with you, to stand with everyone who wants to celebrate World Hijab Day and make sure that people have the ability to celebrate their religion, not just in words, because words aren't enough, but actually in action and in practice. Thank you again, and I look forward to be with you next year as well, hopefully having moved much more further along the way in fighting this, inshallah.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Williams. It's a pleasure to have you here. And you hit it on the head. It's not just a woman's issue. It's a humanity issue, and it's about learning to love each other and work with each other, using, you know, with all the differences, with all the diversity, right? Diversity is to be enjoyed, not to create. It's not about segregation, but it's about integration. So thank you for that support. At this point, I'd like to invite Mr. Scott Stringer. And Scott Stringer is an American politician, and he's serving as the 44th New York City Comptroller. He previously served as a New York State Assemblyman and as the 26th Borough President of Manhattan. So welcome, Mr. Stringer.
Well, thank you so much. And I want to shout out Masada Udin, the founder and president of the South Asian Fund for Education, Scholarship, and Training. And I want to thank ITV and the Interfaith Center of the USA. I'm honored to be with all of you to recognize World Hijab Day. The hijab is not only a symbol of faith, it represents pride, freedom of expression, empowerment, and can even be seen as an act of courage. During this time where Islamophobia and anti-Muslim sentiment is on the rise, it's on all of us to stand up for our Muslim sisters, because discrimination and harassment for wearing religious clothing is unacceptable everywhere and anywhere. No woman should ever be targeted or attacked for what she chooses to wear, and especially not for choosing to wear the hijab. I was disturbed to hear that a student at LaGuardia High School recently came forward and said that she was harassed for being Muslim and called a terrorist. No child should ever feel unsafe or threatened, especially in school. And no one should ever be a bystander to such horrible behavior. We must stand up against hate in all forms. And that's exactly what Duha's classmates did. And I was heartened to learn that they stood up for her and have formed a group to support one another. Let's listen to this next generation, because they actually serve as the excellent role models and a reminder that our safety is in solidarity in action. No one should ever have to live in fear because of who they are, what they wear, or what they believe. We have to have each other's backs. And I want you to know that I always will stand side by side with the Muslim community, and I will always be an ally in the struggle. The only way this city works is if it works for everyone. And I wanted to come on and let all of you know that you are brave and courageous and strong, men and women together, making sure that we have justice. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm grateful.
Absolutely, Mr. Stringer. Thank you so much for your support and your supportive words. This New York City is truly a city of dreams. And I think all immigrants, no matter at what time period they came with those dreams. And really, I think we all share that common vision of making it a better place for each and every person, regardless of their background. So I think at this point, Mr. Khalil Anderson, he is here. Am I correct? He has joined us.
Yes.
Mr. Khalil Anderson, are you here?
Yes, blessings.
Okay, great. Welcome, and you have the floor.
Thank you, sister. Salam alaikum to all my Muslim brothers and sisters who are on today's call and who are celebrating this beautiful, beautiful World Hijab Day. What a beautiful showing of solidarity and support all across the screen, but also all across the world and all across our communities. And as we take this day to celebrate Muslim women wearing the hijab, something that is central to our the cultural history, of the religion, but also understanding the trials and tribulations Muslim women and the Muslim faith faces all across the city, state, and country. And people should feel free to wear what they prefer and however they feel it contributes to their cultural, religious, and personal preferences. And we have to, as elected officials, protect that right for our Muslim brothers and sisters. Muslim women and girls deserve to live in a free, not fear. And that's vitally important, that they live free and not in a space of fear and harm. The Muslim faith teaches love, unity, and peace. And we've made progress as evidenced by today's celebration honoring the hijab. And unfortunately, there's still a lot of stigma and prejudice, discrimination, and phobia around this issue. And again, we as elected officials must continue to do our part to educate and create cultural awareness and celebrate the hijab, recognizing Muslim holidays, recognizing Muslim celebrations, and supporting legislation that promotes inclusivity, increases protections, and expands religious freedoms for all Muslim New Yorkers. We must fight back against Islamophobia, hijabophobia, tribalism, nationalism, and white supremacy that harms so many Muslim Americans across this city, state, and nation. And how we fight back is through education, and how we fight back is making sure that we protect our Muslim brothers and sisters and acknowledge, of course, Muslim girls who are wearing their hijabs in celebration and acceptance. So I want to thank Safest and I want to thank the hosts of today's beautiful event. And I look forward to doing my job as a state legislator, to make sure that we protect the rights of our Muslim brothers and sisters. Thank you so much, everyone.
Well, thank you so much, and walaikum assalam to you. And I appreciate you. We truly appreciate your time, taking out time from your precious day to be here. But this is so important that, you know, we all come together, regardless of what our backgrounds are, to show that, yes, we are all different in every way, but united in every capacity. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Chaplain Jamila once more, who will introduce our next speakers.
Okay, assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings, everyone. That was wonderful presentations. Next, we have the Al Mamur School students. Rukhsar Aziz, Lena Shahada, and Zahara Raka. You all three have 5 minutes amongst yourselves, so you have the floor. Are they present?
Yeah, I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rukhsar Aziz. I'm a senior at Al Mamur School, which is a private Islamic institute. So when I was invited to speak in this event, I was thoroughly excited because hijab is something that I'm passionate about, and just my religion in general is something that I love speaking on behalf on. So to me, my hijab, it represents a giver of strength, confidence, and unity. So the reason why I feel that way is because my hijab journey is not like, and it was not an easy one. So I started wearing the hijab when I was in about 6th grade. And at first I just wore it because my parents told me to, and I didn't really have a problem with it. But as I grew older and was starting to get exposed to, like, you know, girls around me, you know, girls who weren't, you know, Muslims as well, girls who were, you know, non-Muslims, and I started to compare myself, you know, and hijab in our society doesn't meet the ideal beauty standards, which honestly, beauty does not have an ideal face. But yeah, I started to compare myself to other girls and started questioning why I wore the hijab in the first place. But through it all, I never took it off, and I'm very grateful that I didn't take it off. Alhamdulillah, I guess I always had a spiritual connection with it, and I could not let it go. And looking back, I'm proud of myself for not letting it go. So now today, I'm so proud to be a hijabi, it means so much to me. It's not just a hijab. Like, it's a symbol of my religion. My religion is who I am. I define myself as a Muslim girl. Islam is not just a religion to me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with that. It's a way of life. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of speaking. It's a way of acting. It's like who I am. So that is my definition of who I am. I'm a Muslim girl, and my hijab is just a symbol of that. So whenever I walk out the door and I have my hijab on, I feel so much more confident than if I were to not, you know? And it makes me feel beautiful. And I'm not doing this to please anyone, you know? I'm not attached to the dunya. I'm doing this to please the only person who we should please, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So wearing the hijab, it just reassures all that for me. And yeah, it's just a shield, you know? Like a hijab does not mean a headscarf. In Islam, a hijab it means a shield, it means protection. So a wall could be a hijab, a curtain could be a hijab. And to me, that's what my hijab is. It is a shield, and it protects me, and it makes me feel so much more empowered and confident. So yeah.
Okay.
Next student.
Thank you, Rixar. Thank you all so much for this. I see some familiar faces like Queen State, Public Advocate, Sister Debbie, and the ITV members, which I'm absolutely delighted to see. First off, I just want to say happy World Hijab Day. It's insane how much we have progressed as a nation from this heartening hate that surged against Muslims during and after the tragic events of 9/11 to now where we as hijabi Muslim can become doctors, hold public office, give our input without a doubt, but also comfort that we will be allies. There will be allies standing with us. This hijab on me is a constant reminder that yes, I look different, but I'm also an American, born and raised. It's a constant reminder of who I am and the image I have the opportunity to promote as a Muslim hijabi. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Lina Shahada. I'm a junior from Alma Moore School. And hijab to me is a symbol of empowerment, adding on to like what Ruxar was saying. It gives you power, it gives you confidence, you know, despite all the stigma that surrounds hijab and being a hijabi and being a Muslim, it actually gives you like a sense of empowerment. It makes you feel like it makes you feel like invincible in a way, because despite like all the hate coming towards you and all the hate going on in the world, you have this symbol that just, yeah, like you show who you are without caring about like what other people say. And I first began wearing hijab in 7th grade, and it was like pretty easy for me because I was in an Islamic environment. I was in an Islamic school, but I used to go by train, and like, you know, like the people on train, they were like really unpredictable. So, you know, you'd have the looks, you'd have the random people like trying to throw you off and trying to make you feel discouraged. But one thing that I just always remind myself is that this is something for my God and not something for the people who I see and who I don't see. And like, it's something that's a part of who I am, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So yeah.
Okay. Next, we're gonna have Maryam Masood. I'm sorry, Maryam, I don't have your bio in front of me. So you can, but we're pleased to have you.
Maryam Masud. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm really honored and happy to be here today at this wonderful, noble event. I am Maryam Masood. I am a freshman in high school, and World Hijab Day. First of all, happy World Hijab Day to all of you. You know, this event is really special because it is a day where all the women from all different religious backgrounds and ethnicities come together to encourage and support Muslim women to wear their hijab, the headscarf. and it symbolizes modesty and freedom. I call it modesty because it shows the true beauty of woman. I call it freedom because it is our choice to dress in this modest way. And a few people could think that the hijab is just a piece of clothing that covers our head and covers our hair. But in reality, it means a lot more than that. It is our power, it is our pride, and it is our identity. It is our right and our freedom. And I also want to talk a little bit about my own experience of wearing the hijab. So I actually started wearing the hijab from a very young age, like around 6 or 7 years old. And, you know, my parents always encouraged me to wear the hijab, but they never forced me to wear it. I think more so it was from my heart. I found it to be like I found it myself being happy wearing it. And I remember around that time, I was also memorizing the Holy Quran. So, you know, I grew up wearing the hijab in middle school and now in high school. I actually go to a charter school where I'm surrounded by people from all different religious backgrounds, ethnicities, and cultures. However, not once did I feel ashamed or discouraged to wear the hijab. Everyone around me, all my friends, they always made me feel accepted and they always respected me for who I am. And I'm very thankful for that. And I also respect them and I respect them for who they are. And you know, I'm very proud to be a hijabi today. So in relation to this, there is actually a very beautiful verse in the Holy Quran, and our Creator, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, tells our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and I will recite this beautiful verse and explain it. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها النبي قل لأزواجك وبناتك ونساء المؤمنين يدنين عليهن من جلابيبهن ذلك أدنى أن يعرفن فلا يؤذين وكان الله غفورا رحيما. This beautiful verse means, O Prophet, tell your wives and your daughters and the women of the believers to draw their veils all over their bodies. That will be better, that they should be known as free, respectable women, so as not to be annoyed. And Allah is ever oft forgiving, most merciful. Subhanallah, what a beautiful verse. Thank you so much for listening.
And we thank you, Maryam. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Okay, next, before we bring our keynote speaker, Chaplain Afshan, you can introduce Anna Kaplan for us.
Great. Thank you. I actually would like to, we're honored to have New York State Senator Anna Kaplan with us. She's an American politician from Great Neck, New York. She is a Democrat and she's a member of the New York State Senate representing the New York's 7th State Senate District, which runs from the North Shore to roughly the central part of Western Nassau County on Long Island. Welcome, Senator Kaplan.
Good afternoon. This is actually Salam Alaikum. This is Sabare Samet. I'm here on behalf of Senator Kaplan, who wanted to be here, but unfortunately could not due to being in the middle of a conference this afternoon. It was extended, so she had to jump on that. The senator had prepared remarks on the hope she would be able to join you today, but since she's not, I'm going to read them on her behalf. I came to this country as a refugee so that I could be safe to practice my religion freely and openly. So I take issues like this very much to heart. It is important that people of all faiths and backgrounds feel safe to express their faith in a way that accords with their deeply held beliefs and customs. I know for many Muslim women, wearing the hijab is an act of deep faith and one that all Muslim women should be allowed to make for themselves without interference by others. From a legal standpoint, I'm proud that we passed legislation to protect the rights of Muslim women to wear a hijab and express their faith in this way. But from a societal standpoint, I think it's important that we all speak out on the days like today to affirm that it isn't just a Muslim woman's legal right to express her faith this way, but she should feel comfortable and respected making this deeply personal decision. Islamophobia is a tragically powerful force that causes some women to feel unsafe wearing a hijab. And it takes all of us speaking out against it at a very opportunity to counter it. Today, I'm proud to join all those speaking out in support of a Muslim woman's right to wear a hijab if she chooses to, and speaking out against the forces of Islamophobia that makes women feel unsafe to do so. To all the Muslim women out there, I stand with you, I support you, and I support your right to freely express yourselves however you choose to. Thank you so much for having me, and I wish all a wonderful rest of your program. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Samet. On behalf of Anna Kaplan, we wish her the best, and please thank her on our behalf for her support. Back to you, Sister Jamila.
Okay, next we have our keynote speaker. I'm very honored to introduce Dr. Debbie Amalista. Am I saying your name right, sis? I just call you Dr. Debbie. She is internationally recognized, award-winning educator, speaker, and authority on cross-cultural understanding. She is an influential community leader and the founder and CEO of a Bridging Cultures Group. Dr. Debbie was the founding and former principal of the International Academy in Brooklyn, New York, the 25-year veteran of the New York City public school system. She taught special education, inclusion trained teachers in literacy, and served as a multicultural specialist and diversity advisor. Currently, she is the board president of the Muslim Community Network, to name a few. And I think I just saw that she was also at the inauguration to be the first Muslim woman to, she can fill that in.
Thank you, sister.
I got the text. Alaikum salam rahmatullah. You are so blessed to me as well. We appreciate you, and we're glad that you're here to join us as our keynote speaker. Take it.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my sisters and brothers, my allies who are all here. What an incredible event this is, to have over 120 participants, to have elected officials from city level to the state level. It's really a testament to the organizing of the sisters that have been doing this extraordinary work. Sister Mazida and Sister Jamila, may Allah bless you and your whole entire team for organizing this event and amplifying the story of the Muslim sisterhood and how important it is for us to support one another and to amplify one another's stories and narratives to help people better understand who Muslim women are, where they come from, what they have to contribute, and their place in society, in leadership positions, in various sectors of the professions that exist in our society. I'm really honored and humbled to have been invited as the keynote speaker for this wonderful day. This wonderful day, as we all know, was a brainchild of our dear sister, Nazma Khan, back in 2013, where she decided to have a World Hijab Day in recognition of millions of Muslim women who chose to wear hijab and live a life of modesty. Something so simple, but yet so extraordinary in the mind of everyone who, has seen Islamophobia, the backlash and discrimination that Muslim American women have faced in the last 25 years and even pre 9/11. And to have a day that's dedicated to celebrating World Hijab Day, whether you choose to wear a hijab or you don't, it's a day of Muslim women celebration. And so I want all of my sisters that are watching this, that are participating in this, is to love yourself, to absorb this day and feel proud of who you are, where you've come from, and your contributions to your family, to your community, to the larger society, and know that the sacrifices that you make every day when you walk out your door wearing the hijab as an ambassador for Islam and Muslims, that you are appreciated, that you are celebrated, and that you wearing this banner of our faith tradition should be something that we, appreciate every day for all of that you do and that you give. And we know that there are times that we are walking in places, whether it's walking into a room, whether it's walking on the street, we get stares and we get looks, but embrace yourself, love yourself, and know that this is simply your choice and your decision to wear the hijab, and that it is your way of worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so I want to, remind us of that and make sure that each and every one of us, feels that sense of appreciation. And to my sisters who do not choose to wear hijab, you too are ambassadors of our faith. The way that you carry yourself, the way that you talk about Islam, and the way that you give back to society. So I want to make sure that all of our sisters who don't necessarily wear hijab feel the same love and appreciation and respect that those who do wear hijab. This day, as I mentioned earlier, was a brainchild of Nazma Khan. A little bit about Nazma Khan, and some of you may know her. She grew up in the Bronx and just decided, based on the discrimination that she was experiencing and others were experiencing, she decided to wear it. And some of her reflections, going back to her middle school age, people in her classes used to call her Batman or a ninja because of the way that she chose to wear her hijab. But she stood fast and she made sure that she did not let that deter her from taking her hijab off. And I appreciated our dear, distinguished controller, Scott Stringer, for bringing up Dua, who is a student at LaGuardia High School. I was actually the first to hear the unfortunate incident that took place with her teacher at LaGuardia High School. She attended an event where I was doing one of my book talks, and she shared with me what had happened, but not realize that she was being discriminated against. And after speaking to her, I insisted on connecting her with CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, and we made sure that they took her on as a client and brought justice for her. And so I'm so happy to see that this case has moved forward. And I share this with you because a lot of times we don't know that we are at the receiving end of bigotry and discrimination, and we must, build the courage to stand up to it and report it. One of the things that is deeply troubling in our Muslim community is that there is so much discrimination that's happening and hate crimes that are happening and that are unreported. And so if there's anything I want you to take away from today, is that we must report these incidents in order for our community to get the justice. And so we can break the cycle of hate and bigotry through reporting these incidents. Another thing that I wanted to share about this incredible World Hijab Day is some of the sisters that are in this, that organize this event. Back in 2017, the New York State actually recognized today as World Hijab Day in New York State. This did not just happen for the heck of it. It was because of the organizing and mobilizing of our sisters that have said, you know what, we want this to be a recognized day in New York State. And what resulted is actually, if you go to the New York State Senate website, you will find on there the resolution, and it's State Senate Resolution number 370. And it was actually I will share with you who were the sponsors of this incredible bill. This resolution. It was Senator Roxanne Prasad. She was really the champion. She made sure to get this, moving. It was also her co-sponsors are actually Senator Leroy Comrie, Senator Fred Akshar, and Senator Joseph Adabo Jr., and also Senator Marisol Alcantara. We need to thank these 5 individuals for their leadership and putting this on the map, and historically making this something that was important and pertinent for New York State to recognize. And this recognition stamps out hate in every corner of our state. So again, I want to thank Senator Roxanne Prasad for her advocacy to make this resolution become a reality. And so please go to the, to the website, the New York State website. In fact, what I'll do is I will drop the link into the chat for you all to get to read it. So I share this because what we see is the extraordinary work and effort of our sisters who continually are pushing the envelope to make sure that our sisters are getting recognized. In 2017 as well, on an international level, the House of Commons in the UK hosted an event marking the day where the Prime Minister, Theresa May, also attended. The event has been recognized by Tasmina Ahmed Sheikh, who is also in the government in the UK, and many others. And so I really, want, to have every sister, whether you're in New York City, New York State, wherever you are watching this, to know that there are milestones being made to recognize the contributions of Muslim women. And today, I want each and every one of you to enjoy the day, to feel celebrated, and to share the love with your other sisters, your mothers, and everyone, and keep doing the great work that you're doing. And stay, positive. I know that, COVID has really impacted all of us in many ways. But when we, have these kinds of opportunities to connect and celebrate, and be able to share information with one another, we are making a difference in each other's lives. So with that, I will give it back to the host. And again, thank you all for having me. Congratulations on this incredible event. I love you all, and keep up the incredible work. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So thank you, Ms. Al-Muntazar. That's a very enlightening, and I think you're going to you said a link into the chat for everyone. We'd really appreciate that, and thank you for coming by. And next we have a very special Congresswoman here with us. Her name is Yvette Clarke. Yvette Clarke was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. She proudly represents the people of Brooklyn's 9th Congressional District since 2013. She